Hi, what's up everybody? Welcome back. I'm coming at you today with a kind of a different video than I've ever done before. It's going to be a comparison video between two things here at Disney World. I'm going to be comparing Tomorrowland here at the Magic Kingdom and Future World over in EPCOT. I'm going to tell you why one works right now even though it had a pretty rocky past, and I'm going to tell you about the other, how it used to be great and how it kind of faded away and now it's trying to get back to its greatness again. Tomorrowland, when it opened here at Walt Disney World and in Disneyland, was truly supposed to be about the future. It wasn't retro future, it was truly about the future. Like, people really thought this is what the future would look like. There were spaceships everywhere. Space travel was a big thing. We had the people mover running up here. That's what people actually thought we were going to be riding on in the future. And people would come over here to Tomorrowland and they like actually thought this is going to be what the future is like. But that was a long time ago, and time moves on. The future doesn't stop for anybody. So if Disney doesn't update its rides and attractions over here in Tomorrowland, then it becomes in the past. It's not a world of tomorrow anymore. So that's the dilemma Tomorrowland here at the Magic Kingdom ran into. Tomorrowland became very outdated and people didn't take Tomorrowland seriously at all. And then, so what Disney did is in 1994, they did a full refurbishment of Tomorrowland here in the Magic Kingdom, and they basically made it a future that never was. So now it's all about the future that we thought it was supposed to be like, but that never really happened. And so now it doesn't have the pressure to try and keep up with the actual future. It can just live in the past and be about the future that we thought it was going to be like, that never was. And that's why Tomorrowland here at the Magic Kingdom has been very successful throughout the past 20 years or so. It's been very successful. It's probably one of the most popular lands in all of the Magic Kingdom. But then that brings us to Future World in EPCOT. EPCOT has always been about the future from its earliest plans. The model that I just showed you guys on the People Mover, that was actually what was supposed to be EPCOT. The EPCOT we have today is not what Walt Disney originally planned EPCOT to be. Walt Disney planned EPCOT to be an actual city where people lived on Disney property that would involve the future. It was basically a futuristic city. People would ride in monorails and people movers throughout the city. People would travel in cars in the bottom tunnels of the city. And companies would showcase all of their new futuristic developments throughout the city. That's what EPCOT was supposed to be. But of course, that is not the EPCOT we received. We received the EPCOT that we have today, which is basically a park that's split off into two sections. We have World Showcase, which is basically a World's Fair type thing, and then we have Future World. And Future World was actually divided into different sections. There was originally 9 different Future World pavilions all around Future World, and I actually did a video about these original Future World pavilions, so if you want to check that out, I'll leave a link in the description below. But Future World here in EPCOT was literally and is still supposed to be what the future is really supposed to be. It's not a retro future like how Tomorrowland is. I don't think they'll ever go that way. Future World is dreaming of the future. How can we incorporate all of these little Future World pavilions like the land? How can we incorporate the land? How can we incorporate communication into the future? And that's how EPCOT's Future World was for the longest time. All of these 9 pavilions, whether they closed and opened up a new one, they were all connected to the future. But a few years ago, maybe about 10 years ago or so, it kind of got away from that, and they kind of started getting away from the whole future aspect. Future World was starting to become a world of the past. Like right here at Allen's Energy Adventure, that ride was super outdated by the time they removed it, and now they're building Guardians of the Galaxy, of course, back here, which hopefully will be a good replacement. But Future World for a very long time has been the part of Disney World that really needs like the most work. Future World needs to be renovated and kept up with all the time. There should always be something new over here in Future World because it's about the future. The future is always changing. We come up with new things all the time. And if we don't renovate it and keep up with the times, Future World is just going to be a world of the past like it has been. So I think Future World can work over here in EPCOT only if Disney actually is very dedicated and keeps up with the sections over here. They have to maintain it, they have to always be updating it, but I don't know if Disney's willing to do that, especially now they're building the Guardians of the Galaxy roller coaster here in the old Energy Pavilion. I don't know how they're going to incorporate that into it, or I don't even know if they're going to keep the whole themes of having the pavilions be a certain theme, like energy, motion. We have the Wonders of Life Pavilion back here, and that's going to be turned into a play pavilion pretty soon. So I don't even know if Disney's going to keep up with that whole future theme. So I don't even know if Disney's going to want to keep up with the whole future theme with the different pavilions. They might just abandon it altogether. But Future World is going through a lot of changes right now as we speak. If you have seen my newest construction update video, I talk about all of the changes that are coming over here to Future World. Future World, the spine of Future World from Spaceship Earth all the way to the port of entry is going to be changing. And then after that's done, I guess we will really see if Future World is going to be here to stay, or if they're going to turn it into something like a retro future, like how they did in Tomorrowland, which I doubt they will do, or if they're just going to scrap the whole future idea and kind of just come up with a new concept. But either way, Future World is like one of my favorite parts of any Disney park. I love to come back here, and I wish that I could have come over here during the park's glory days, like how I said in the other video that I mentioned before, where I looked around all the Future World pavilions. That's when EPCOT really was like an amazing park, especially right here in Future World. I wish I could have gone back over here and been to all these pavilions and really seen what the future was gonna be like, because that's what it really was. People were coming over here and it was basically a glimpse into the 21st century. But now we are in the 21st century, and Future World has gone through a lot of changes, and it's still going through a lot of changes, and I think that's a good thing. If they want to keep up with the Future World idea, if they want to keep up with it, keep changing things, keep on with the innovation, keep on updating things like Test Track. That was a great update in my opinion, but only time will tell. I'm excited to see all these changes come over here to Future World. I'm excited to see what they do. I hope, I pray that the Future World theme stays. They keep all of the pavilions, they just grow on top of it. This play pavilion right here with the Wonders of Life, I hope it's amazing. I hope the Guardians of the Galaxy roller coaster is amazing, because I want EPCOT to succeed, and I know a lot of people give EPCOT a lot of hate, but I just want EPCOT to be the best that it can be, just like the other parks. I think all the other parks are really thriving, but EPCOT is kind of lagging behind a little bit. But I know that Disney can come up with something really amazing over here in Future World for EPCOT.
The heart of everything we'll be doing in Disney World will be our experimental prototype city of tomorrow. We call it EPCOT. EPCOT will take its cue from the new ideas and new technologies that are now emerging from the creative centers of American industry. It will be a community of tomorrow that will never be completed, but will always be introducing and testing and demonstrating new materials and new systems.
And yeah, that's kind of my comparison of Future World and Tomorrowland, both worlds of tomorrow and the future here at Disney World. How one really has succeeded over the test of time, even though it had some rocky moments in the past, which I'm talking about Tomorrowland, and how EPCOT over here, Future World, started out really amazing. People loved Future World, and now it's kind of going through an identity crisis. It's not really futuristic anymore, but it's going through a lot of changes. So if you're excited for all of the changes coming over here to Future World at EPCOT, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up. Also, let me know down below if you have ever been to Future World, and what do you think about it? Do you like it? Do you hate it? Which do you prefer, Tomorrowland or Future World? If you want to follow my Instagram, it's going to be right over here. It's at marcusq.mq. And thank you guys very much for watching. It's kind of fun to do the impossible, and I'll see you guys on the next video.
So that's what EPCOT is, an experimental prototype community that will always be in a state of becoming. It will never cease to be a living blueprint of the future, where people actually live a life they can't find anywhere else in the world.